Ladies and gentlemen,
Pros and schmoes,
you are listening to
The Come Up. And it's time for another episode of The Come Up on the Advices Radio Network. Sitting in the red corner, we have IFBB Pro WPD competitor Hailey, the Giant Killer Delph. And in the blue corner, we have a waterlogged, heavy breathing Ryan Delph.
I thought you were going to say, in the UFC. Wait, what's his name? Bruce Buffer?
Bruce Buffer.
I love that guy. Yeah, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of The Come Up from the red and the blue corner. I'm Hailey and my husband, Ryan.
Yo.
And today we are going to do a St. Louis Pro and NPC, what was that show called? Championship wrap-up.
Yep.
So, what should we start with? You want to start with Ryan's waterlogged experience?
Oh my god.
All right, let's talk about it.
Where the fuck to begin? How about what a nightmare of a weekend. Overall, that was a terrible experience. So
let's just start from the beginning, like
Yeah.
we did with Indy. So we get there Wednesday. Ryan is competing Saturday. I was supposed to have been competing Friday. So instead of staying there Thursday like we would if I wasn't competing, I couldn't get out of the Wednesday night. So we're there a day early in this Hilton, which is okay, but not the greatest hotel. So we get to St. Louis on Wednesday. And Ryan doesn't even get to check in until Friday.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, which that's fine. Like we got to train at a to Tony's Dungeon Pro gym. Good gym. I was looking fucking sick a couple days out. Like I was ready. And then the day of weigh-ins, which was Friday afternoon, I had to go sit in the sauna for a little bit, whatever. The most I could weigh was 212.0, right? And so I sat in the sauna, got out. On our scale, I was 211.8. I'm like, fuck yeah. I looked awesome, too. I made a post about it on Instagram. I'm like, made weight, and posted the picture. Thought I looked good. Then about 5 minutes after I made that post, I walked over to the official check-in and weighed in. I was 214.6 on their scale. So I was like 3 pounds overweight. So I'm like, oh, fuck. At this point, I had already sat in the sauna for like 2 hours. So I had to hustle back to Fit City Gym and sit in their sauna for at least another 2 hours. And at which point, I finally made weight on their scale. But I was kind of beyond the point of no return at that point. And we can say I didn't look right the next day.
Not really.
I was probably... I looked better than I thought I did after seeing pictures, which the pictures are still trash.
Yeah.
But, like when you're looking down at yourself, and so a couple days before I was vascular as fuck, big, full, hard. And then like backstage, I'm looking at myself. I'm like, dude, I don't have one vein on my entire body. Can't get a pump. Just look soft and fucking watery. Mm-hmm. And and that's about how that went.
Yeah. So Ryan competed in 2 different divisions. He had to make weight for Classic, but then he also gave bodybuilding a shot. So really, in retrospect, we should have just had him compete in bodybuilding, where the cutoff is what, 225?
Yeah. Fuck, I would have looked great there.
Right. So it would have been fine. You would have weighed in perfectly. It would have been big, hard. It would have been good. Yep. But Classic Physique really compromised everything.
Hell yeah. Yeah, and in bodybuilding, I ended up finishing 5th. So, okay, whatever.
The guy that won your class was actually really impressive.
Yeah, the dude that won it, he's legit. He got 2nd at Junior Nats last year.
Do you remember his name?
Scott something. He's pretty good.
Holiday, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
He also won Trainer of the Year at that show for Missouri. So, he's legit. Everybody else was good too, but I don't know. I think if I came in like I was supposed to, I think I would have probably, I don't know, maybe etched out a 2nd place, but coulda, woulda, shoulda. Who fucking knows?
Right.
You can say whatever you want, but
yeah. So let's other than not being able to bring your best physique to the stage, what else went wrong?
Oh my gosh. So many things. So I go up at the night show to do my routine, and I'm standing there on the edge of the stage, and the expediter goes, do you want your music to start as you're walking out or when you get on the X? And I'm like, have it start when I get out there on the X. I'm like, okay. I walk out, I get in my like initial starting pose, and they're still playing this fucking shitty house music. I'm like, okay. I look over to the sound guy, and they're like waving me on, like, go, start. I'm like, okay. And so they long story short, they didn't have my fucking music, or they claim they didn't. So I go like half-assed through my routine, posing to some fucking song I don't know, which not a big deal, but you know, it throws you off.
Right, and you prep for weeks, so it's kind of nice especially when you do hand in your music, that they actually have it ready for you. Right,
and so the paperwork said have 2 CDs with the same song. I gave them 2 CDs, you know, like, what the fuck? It was just a mess. And then Classic Physique, I haven't even checked the results yet. I don't know where I placed. If you don't get top 5, you know, you don't know that night. I'm guessing I probably got like 7th or 8th in Classic, with second call out. But Classic Physique, no joke, from Class A to Class D was fucking stacked. There was a dude, I think he was Class D. He got 3rd at NPC Nationals in Miami last year. And I was kind of talking to him a little bit, and he said that he's improved so much since last year, and he got 5th at this show in a freaking qualifier. So, I mean, it was legit. The overall winner for the Classic Physique was a 100% natty guy who in 2017 was the WNBF world champion.
Yeah.
So the dude's a freak, man.
Yeah, he was a freak.
Yeah.
And he beat a freak. The guy that he beat in his class, I was like, what the fuck
the other black
is
dude?
that? Yeah. And you could tell he had no fucking idea what he was doing on stage, but he was just like, holy shit, this guy's a mutant.
Dude looked like a mutant, like straight out of the Congo.
Right.
No joke.
Yeah.
No joke.
Yeah, I was like, well, this was over.
Yeah.
But also, Ryan's backstage, and he texts me, and he's like, I'm not on the Classic Physique lineup. And I was like, what? You had to make weight, and then you're not even on there?
Yeah. So I'll break that down a little bit. So I guess they had, it was on the itinerary and stuff, but I didn't even see it. And so long story short, there was an itinerary sent out. It said 7 a.m. lineups will be posted. But one, I couldn't check that anyway because I was getting my tan at that time. And so I get back into the warm-up area, and I check the lineup. And on open heavyweight bodybuilding, it says Ryan Delph, and then crossover next to my name. So they know I'm doing both divisions. I'm like, okay, cool, I'm good. And then about 10 minutes before the show actually starts, I'm like, well, fuck. I better go check that Classic lineup. I check it. That was the main reason I went there, was for Classic Physique. And that's what I cut all this weight for last minute to do. I go and check that lineup, and I'm not on it. And I have like a fucking panic attack almost, you know, cortisol shooting through the roof. And I text Hailey and basically had to go grab Jack or whatever.
Yes, I was like, all right, Mr. and Mrs. Chitoni, ma'am and sir, Ryan's not on the list. And so, long story short, they put him on the list, but it wasn't pretty.
Yeah. So that was one other little thing that kind of went wrong for me. Yeah, and then at the night show as well, at finals, they're like, all right, Classic Physique guys, you're going to be up in about 25 minutes. Start pumping up. We're all like, fuck yeah.
Finally, because there's literally a million fucking bikini girls right before you.
Yeah. So we're like, hell yeah. And then, so we're back in the warm-up area for about 45 minutes pumping up. And then finally they take us up to backstage, and we're like, okay. But we get up there, and there's still like 50 bikini girls that need to go across the stage. Not to mention probably like 100 Classic Physique guys that each have 1 minute to do their routine.
Yeah.
Like, are you fucking kidding me? So long story short, by the time they told us to start pumping up and said that we would be ready in 25 minutes, it was probably at least 2 hours, probably closer to 3.
Right.
So at that point, we're all like, we don't give a fuck.
No.
We don't give a fuck at all.
Yeah.
My Classic Physique routine, I went out and hit 4 like half-assed poses and walked off.
Yeah. Yep. And
Right.
at that point, it was like midnight.
Yeah.
So we leave and we go get Taco Bell.
That's the only place in St. Louis that was open still.
And it was 4:20, so literally every stoner is in the drive-thru too. And we spent $35 at Taco Bell.
Yeah. So finals.
And it was fucking good.
I feel bad for the men's physique guys because they had to be there till probably 1 a.m. because we were there till midnight and they still hadn't gone yet.
Right.
So
I mean, too, though, like, there's a reason why you start with the biggest classes, biggest as in muscular classes, and then work your way down because you don't have to hold fucking condition for quite as long.
yeah.
I mean, really, I think they should go last, bikini and men's physique.
Yeah. Well, I think here's unsolicited advice, but like this is a premier national qualifier show. It's
Right.
a legit show, and they went to a new format this year. Instead of having
2-day show for everyone.
instead of having pros and amateurs going on the same day, they had the pros go on Friday, amateurs go on Saturday. But it's almost like they need to have a pro day, and then or actually have the pro day and then have a women's NPC day on that same day, because the bikini is what made that go so fucking long.
Right.
And then another thing that would be nice is backstage I was talking to a lot of the bodybuilders and classic guys, and we were all like, man, there's 100 of us. We each get a minute to do a routine. Holy fuck.
Yeah.
You know, so like you just got to go like at the Arnold Amateur.
Yeah.
If you're top 5, you get to do your routine. If not, sorry about it.
Right.
And everybody was okay
Even
with
top
that.
10, like to take it from down from 100 to 10.
Yeah.
Like that makes a big fucking difference.
Yeah. It was crazy. Awesome show. It was just very.
Oh yeah, the venue's great. Obviously, high caliber athletes showed up.
Yeah.
It's just the format.
A lot of things went wrong with me in and out of my control. But yeah, I don't know. I didn't have the best experience, but it's a cool show. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So that's how that went. What do you want to talk about next? Should we talk about my health update, or do you
Sure.
want to go? Okay. Well, okay, yeah. So Ryan and I, right now we're recording. What day is it? Wednesday. We just got back from the doctor. Again, shout out to ACI Medicine, Dr. Sean, for being so helpful to us. And we figured out what the fuck's going on with me. So that's good. That's a step in the right direction.
It's not nearly as bad as we thought.
No, I mean, it's pretty bad, but now we at least know what it's stemming from. So I did a stool sample like 2 weeks ago, and I sent it to their lab in California, and today we got the results back, and I have a pretty awful E. coli infection in my gut that basically upregulated the rest of my genes and anything bad that was happening to me. So originally that we thought the extra thyroid hormone is what caused kind of like a cascade of hormonal effects is not really the case. So my body kind of went into chaos mode and was trying to fight this infection, and then the upward regulation of all my genes, as in like the PCOS and the androgenic effects that I get from that, also upregulated. So I was just getting like the worst of the worst sides that I normally have anyway. So, you know, storing body fat, holding water. My gut was distended like an Ethiopian starving child. So TMAO is one of the gases that kind of set off a red flag for Dr. Schneider, and I'll butcher so it's trimethylamine N oxide, and what that comes from is eating too much animal protein, mostly like red meat and egg whites, he said, and not getting enough fiber to counterbalance that, which is crazy. I must just be a strange case because I eat a fuck ton of fiber. But he said, you know, it can happen, and especially when you're getting into really good shape. He's not seen really any competitor that's doing it the right way not have a little bit of this, but for some reason my body was just like, fuck you, and just went the complete opposite direction. So he prescribed me an antibiotic that I'm going to start today, and hopefully we can knock out this infection in a week, and then I'll be good to fucking go.
True that.
Yeah, so that's exciting, but also, you know, it's crazy that one thing, you know, that's not specifically hormone related can affect your hormones so much and give you so many crazy effects. And I mean, I pay really close attention to my gut health you know, obviously I'm going to see this doctor that helps me with it, but one thing can cause everything else to just be fucked up. You know, kind of like Ryan's experience, like not being able to, you know, stay at a weight, and then everything else is just kind of thrown off. So E. coli infection and every fucking thing else goes wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
absolutely. You just reminded me of something too that I wanted to touch on. So I made a post the day after, or 2 days after the show. So I weighed in at 212, right? And then like Sunday night, I was already 245 pounds.
Yeah.
And I hadn't even been eating like a pure asshole. I was eating like a normal person.
But you put on like 30 pounds of muscle, bro.
Yeah, 36 pounds of pure muscle in 2 days, bitch. Bro. Hey, what are you taking, bro?
What's up, bro? We shooting up.
Yeah. Anyway, that's the thing. A lot of people. So there's another trainer from around here. Shout out to Alan.
What's up, Alan? The Mentionator.
Yep. He brought it to my attention. He's like, hey, he commented on one of my posts, like, he said, life lessons of bodybuilding, don't starve and dehydrate yourself. And then he direct messaged me. He goes, hey, just wanted to let you know that I've had a few people come up to me already and ask, hey, do you know Ryan? Blah, blah, blah. Like, how did he put on that much weight? What did he take to put on that much weight so fast? And he's like,
he ate food.
Yeah, he's like, what do you mean? And they're like, well, you can't just gain 36 pounds in 2 days like that.
Oh, the fuck you can't.
And he's like, I tried to explain to them that that's how depleted you were. And, you know, you just went back to eating food and water and you went back to normal. Like when you're at one extreme end of depletion and then you add everything back into it, your body holds on to all that and it like goes to another extreme. And he's like, long story short, these people they don't understand it. And I think everybody needs to really deplete themselves at least once in their life so they can like get a grasp of it. Right. I'm like, Alan, don't even waste your time. Just tell them it's all steroids from now on.
Yeah. He's like, yeah, that's what they think anyways.
Yeah. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? But that goes to show too, though, like I should not have been doing classic physique in the first place. Like when I'm down at 212 and I look like shit compared to 240 something 2 days later and look better, more vascularity, fuller. Like I should not be doing classic. So peace out, classic.
A couple days ago, we were talking about how we wanted to talk about this anyways. Like how people, okay, like you take a bikini girl and it's not, yes, they get depleted, but it's not like this. Not like you trying to cut down that much weight, or not like me trying to be absolutely fucking shredded in women's physique. And I've had people say to me, like, oh, you know, you don't really need to get that big in the off season. Like rebounding 10 pounds after your show, like that's fine. Okay, well, no. Like when I normally deplete, even during a prep or not even in a prep, when I eat McDonald's, I gain more than 10 fucking pounds.
In one meal.
Yeah. And yeah, it's not just water. Like you're super depleted.
Glycogen plus the food you're actually eating and water.
Yeah. I can't even tell you how many clients, like especially my bikini girls,
I gained 2 pounds.
Literally like 3. And they're like, I think I overdid it. I think I did too much. I'm like, what the fuck did you do? I had an extra taco. I'm like, oh, fuck. Holy shit, that's terrible. You should be ashamed of yourself.
You fucking fat bitch. Go kill yourself.
But like, I think the same people though, either they're like, well, I just don't have an appetite, which I can't relate, don't understand, but they also don't make the kind of progress that they're supposed to because they just don't have the fuel. Like they don't know what it's like to deplete and then recharge. It's just completely different. But that's so funny that people thought like you actually gained that amount of weight.
Right. No. Actually, since the show, I haven't taken anything, but other than cheeseburgers and cheesecake. Upside down pineapple or pineapple upside down cake. Yeah. Taco Bell.
Yes. So Ryan.
Chicken wings.
So VJ basically was like, you know, eat what you want for a couple days. And yesterday, or no, a couple days ago, I called you. I was like, hey, where you at? I'm at home. Are you on your way home? Like, yeah, I'm at Utica Ridge Hy-Vee getting some treats. And I was like, okay. So you came home, and this is what he had for, quote, treats. I'm telling the story. So he had a bag of honey barbecue wings. Okay, a bag. He had a bag of tortilla chips, also a big thing of cheese dip to go along with it.
That was my dinner.
He had a lobster macaroni and cheese.
Also part of my dinner.
He also had a upside down pineapple cake.
That's part of my dessert. VJ said I could have a dinner and dessert of my choice every night.
What else was in that? The treats.
Okay, I had Blue Bunny ice cream.
Yep.
Cheesecake.
Yep.
Pretty sure that's it.
Pretty sure you probably had more.
No.
Well, you went out last night without me.
Yeah, I got another dinner of my choice, which was 20 giant ass chicken wings. You guys, one of these chicken wings is like four chicken wings at another. It's like 4 ounces.
It's great. Filling station, Davenport, Iowa.
And a stack at High Club, like a big ass sandwich. It was good as fuck.
Yeah.
And then for my dessert, I had cheesecake at home. Like family size cheesecake.
So if you're wondering how you gained 30-some pounds, that's how you fucking do it.
And Decca and Turin too.
Right?
No, just kidding.
Don't forget it. Mainline it.
Yep.
Yeah. So, what else? Let's shall we recap the pro show?
Sure.
Okay, right after this commercial break.
I want to be bigger, better, stronger. Steroids will get you there quicker. I can't use them legally. And it's a synthetic form of testosterone. More energy and muscle mass, right? Sounds good. Yeah, but steroids have side effects. Depression, nosebleeds, nausea, so what? I want to be better, not stupid. I thought you wanted a shortcut. I never said that. Well, then get bigger and stronger the right way. Without steroids.
Hold up. Wait a minute. Something ain't right.
And we're back. Time to talk about the St. Louis Pro Show.
If the moon was made of spare ribs, would you eat it?
Fuck yeah, I would.
Me too.
What flavor? Dry rub or juicy?
Fuck that dry rub.
Okay,
Shit, juicy.
This is a deal breaker for us. I'm a dry rub rib person.
Yeah, see, you always give me handies with all that friction. I'm like, get some lube. How would you... What the hell?
Of course, we're talking about barbecued meats, and you related to sex.
Oh, my bad.
Yep, exactly.
I'd much rather have a lubed handy than a dry rub.
And I'd much rather dry.
That's like getting fingered over the
dry
pants.
rib.
Getting fingered outside the pants.
Usually leads to something.
What is this, 5th grade?
Oh my fuck. Okay, let's talk about the fucking show. So, it was just a women's show. We had bikini, figure, and physique. What do you want to start with?
Start with bikini.
Bikini. Okay, I don't even know.
Sexy.
Here's the top 5. We've got Jessica Palmer, Jasmine Gonzalez, Alexandria Ross, Hannah Ranfraz, and Adele Rogers. Great job, ladies.
Hey, the chick from Columbus who won it, what's her name?
Jessica Palmer.
She looked really good.
She did. She so I did notice she has more of like the no quad cuts.
Well, you know what? I can't even comment on this because I'm embarrassed to even show my picture, so I am not qualified to talk about any of this
She's
today.
not supposed to have quad cuts though, you are.
Okay. Right.
Yeah, she gave a cool interview after the show, but yep, it was not a huge bikini lineup though, which was interesting. Like the other two divisions had bigger lineups in the bikini, which is strange, but not a ton of names that I recognize. So yeah, maybe people were competing I think there was a Salt Lake City show maybe or something. There was something else going on at the same time.
So did she qualify for the Olympia?
No, bikini
just points.
bikini wins don't. It's points. But so moving on to figure, where you do qualify for the Olympia, we've got top 5: Laurel Martineau, Sandra Grajales, Autumn Cleveland, Chelsea Larson, and Ashley Roberson. So Laurel Martineau is another clone.
For real. She was a freak.
She looks so good. Do you know where she's from?
I do not. I actually didn't know anything about her until this show.
Me neither. I did talk to Nadia Wyatt, though, a little bit at the show, and she said that Laurel competed in Orlando the week before, and she was also top 5 there, but she was even harder here at St. Louis. She is this exactly what they want for figure right now when it comes to like Sydney, Nadia, Candace. They have the tiny waist, big cap shoulders, fucking crazy quads. Cuts are just
those lines
extreme.
are deep.
She looks like a smaller delt, a little bit tighter lat with Latoria Watts to me.
She's harder though.
Yeah.
She's like a bigger version of
who?
You just mentioned her. Who?
Latoria?
No. Who
Nadia.
Yeah, Nadia.
Yeah.
I'm like, Jesus.
Yeah. No, she looks really good. And to beat Sandra is a pretty big deal. So Sandra Hollis, the judges do really like her. She brings a good look, and she's brought her waist in quite a bit.
Yeah, she was kind of thick last year.
And she has like kind of boxier quads, but she pulls it together. You know, her lats are bigger than last year too. She looks really good, but she's just not that top 3 at the Olympia look that they're going for. And then third place, Autumn Cleveland.
She was really impressive, if you ask me.
She's been competing forever.
Yep.
I
Didn't
interviewed
you
her.
Beat her at a national show.
Yeah, when I turned pro
At Junior Nats.
She's been competing forever. I think this is like her 17th year competing. Her second, third, whatever year as a pro, and she has made incredible improvements.
Hell yeah.
Like crazy. She's got a really little waist.
She's got like the blonde bombshell look going for her.
She does.
She's kind of smoking actually.
Autumn looks really good. And not just that, but she's an incredible artist.
Incredible.
Unreal.
She does like all kinds of different work, but she's done paintings of like Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Yeah, super cool. Check her out. So shout out to Autumn.
I mean, that's what she does as her profession, right? She's a professional artist.
Fourth place, Chelsea Larson. This was actually a really cool story. I'd never really heard of her. Not quite as hard as the top 3, but
she looks more like what people argue figures should be like.
Yeah, exactly. Her mother was also competing on the pro stage the same day
in the same division.
It was pretty crazy. So you could totally tell where she gets her genetics from. Her mom, obviously older, not quite as hard, but fuck, she looked good.
Yeah.
Like for being 40s, 50s, wherever she's at, she looked amazing. So yeah, Chelsea seems to be pretty new, but good future ahead of her. And then fifth place, Ashley Roberson also has a lot of potential.
She looks damn near like the winner.
Yep. Just not quite as, bigger person, not quite as good at proportions, not quite as hard, but holy fuck, she's got a big future ahead of her too.
I'm assuming this show is kind of disappointing for Stacy Fajarski. We're friends with Stacy. Hailey turned pro with Stacy. And St. Louis pro. Stacy's a St. Louis native. And last year she got third at this show?
Third place behind Nadia and Wendy.
And Wendy Fortino. And this year she finished 10th.
Yeah, so I talked to Stacy a little bit after the show, and she's been bringing a little bit of a softer look to the stage this year, and that's based off of judges' feedback.
It's a lot softer for her.
For her especially. So, it's tough. You get feedback, and then you get in a lineup, and then you're judged off of that lineup. So it's tough. Stacy has made definite improvements though, and I think going further in the year, she's going to pick and choose her shows and bring that harder look back. I think that she likes that better anyway. So
yeah. She still looks great, but I actually like her harder look myself too. Anything else on figure or no?
No.
Heading on to women's physique.
Women's physique. Go ahead.
So number 1 was Natalia Quelho, of course.
But she was pushed, man. Pushed hard.
Brooke Walker pushed the fuck out of Natalia.
Yeah. Shout out to Brooke. She's awesome.
I personally liked Brooke's look more.
Is this because you really like little jacked blonde girls?
It doesn't hurt. It doesn't hurt, but I could have seen that one going either way.
Oh yeah, for sure. And there were some shots I thought Brooke definitely had.
Yep. Agreed.
She's so much thicker than Natalia. Yeah. Natalia's conditioned as fuck though.
It's insane.
It's a little crazy.
Insane.
Yeah.
So was Brooke, but not to the level of Natalia.
And Brooke hasn't been on stage she didn't compete last year.
A couple years, I'm guessing. Yeah.
Yeah. So shout out to Brooke. She did amazing. Third, Pengbrai Tiangok.
Yeah. Pengbrai. We just call her
Pengbrai. You know what? To the fucking judges, they called her out. They just say Peng. Tang. Okay.
Hey, Asian lady.
Yeah. Hey, you from Thailand. You.
Yeah,
We need
yeah.
you.
She looked good. She brought a softer look compared to the top two.
Yeah, for sure.
But she's a former Olympian. She looked really good.
Yep. Fourth, Katie Lee.
Katie Lee.
Who I think is the best I've ever seen her.
Yeah, she was hard as fuck. Her arms are huge.
They're
absolutely huge.
Stupidly huge.
I had Katie taken third ahead of Pengbra.
Yeah.
But fourth, that's impressive.
Katie just looked more proportioned this year, and then she's been working on her legs a fuck ton.
Yeah, her
It's
legs have
paying off.
always been behind her upper body.
She's bringing a more athletic look, and I think that really paid off for her. So good job, Katie. And then fifth, Candace Carr. Can't help but love that woman.
Right.
She's amazing. Always super consistent. And her... Hold on.
Did you say she reached out to you?
She did, yeah.
That's awesome.
So that's one of the coolest things about this sport is like other competitors, even at the IFBB level, Candace was like, hey, no big deal. It's all right to take a step back. You got to make sure that your health is in the right place and you have supporters. And I was like, holy fuck, Candace Carr, thanks a lot. She is from Trinidad and Tobago and has like a super fucking thick accent. She's awesome, super athletic, and I don't know. I mean, she's got the complete package.
Yeah.
She's just up against absolute freaks.
Yeah, she's always going to be first, second call out in any show she goes to, I think. But
And she's master's age.
yeah, she's in her 40s.
Yeah. Rounding that out, let's see here. Who else do we
Kind
know?
of go through. So Elisa Isley, who we just interviewed last episode, she looked great. She was shredded, looked good up there. I know she was disappointed with where she placed.
Yeah, 13th.
She ended up 13th, but she looked good. And
I talked to her a little bit yesterday. She is going to go ahead and do her women's bodybuilding debut.
in Virginia, right?
Later in the year because her feedback was that overall her package was good, but she's too fucking hard. You're too hard. You need to tone down your conditioning, and she doesn't want to do that. So she's just going to say, fuck it, I'm going for it. Let's do bodybuilding.
Yeah.
I think that's probably a good call for her.
Kind of fits her personality more, too.
It does. And she's got the frame to fill out for it.
Yeah.
Who knows how she'll do in that.
Yep. Let's mention Lynette Moles from Omaha, Nebraska. This was her pro debut. She was definitely undersized compared to a lot of them, but she brought the very pretty aesthetic look. She finished 16th. Actually legitimately got 16th.
Yeah,
where,
then everyone
where
else
usually,
got 17th.
they place you out to 16th place and then everybody else is 16, 16, 16. This one, she got 16th and then anybody lower than her got 17th. But yeah, so she wasn't expecting, talking with her, Lynette, and her coach, who actually we might have on here in a near future episode.
His name's Baby Rhino.
Baby Rhino.
AKA Nick Langer.
Nick Langer. Anyway, they didn't expect her to go in and win, but she looked great. I was actually impressed by her look.
Yeah.
I thought she did better than I expected her to.
Oh, for sure. Really, they just wanted to see, how do we stack up? Where
Yep.
can we go from here? Because Lynette, she's pretty tall. She's
very tall.
She's like 5'8", 5'9",
Yeah.
right? Where being 5'2", it's not that fucking hard to fill out my frame.
No.
Especially with how my proportions are set up. For her, 5'8" is all fuck ton, especially when you have real long legs, real long arms.
Yeah, her legs are long as fuck.
Yeah, they're long, and you can tell. Like she does her front double, and you're like, whoa, when does your quad end?
Right.
So it's back to the drawing board for them. She's going to take an off season now, hoping to get both of them on here soon to talk about that experience.
Rumor has it, we don't want to like drop a huge bombshell, but rumor has it she might be going back to figure.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll ask them to clarify.
Yeah, so we'll talk about that when we have them on the show.
So that's as far as the placings go.
Yeah, so let's
the
talk
women.
about Natalia Coelho. Some competitors and rumor has it maybe even judges were kind of disappointed or frustrated that she's already qualified for the Olympia.
Yeah, she just keeps competing.
She just won the Arnold and now she's competing again. Which I see both sides of that. Like she wants more stage time. She wants to work on
She says she wants feedback.
Yeah,
so that she can get better for the Olympia.
But then I see the other side, like,
bitch, you already qualified.
Yeah, bitch, you already qualified. Get out of here. Let me qualify. But yeah. So there's playing devil's advocate, I guess. But
and there's so many rumors. People are like, she's doing every show until the Olympia. Well, she's not. Right. She talked about that in a couple interviews. She says that she has a strategy and that she's going to do the show she wants to do, and then make sure that she has ample time to make those improvements until the Olympia.
Yep.
So I guess we'll see.
She mentioned that the judges' feedback from the Arnold was to maybe be a little bit fuller while maintaining her conditioning. And I think she tried to do that here in St. Louis, and obviously it still worked for her. She won the show. And our friend Katie Hart, who was working for HD Physiques and NPC News Online, interviewed Natalia post-win, and that's kind of what Natalia expressed, that she basically was just doing this show to like improve upon the feedback that she got from the judges.
Yeah.
And kind of like a warm up for the Olympia. And she hinted that to me, it sounded like she's shutting it down until the Olympia now, but she also hinted that, I don't know, I might do another one.
She's trying to scare people.
Yeah, but I think
like,
she's
yeah,
done.
bitch, I might show up. I might not.
Yeah. All I know is Brooke Walker needs to keep hammering it out now, because she looked awesome, and whatever show she goes to next, she's got a good chance of winning that one and qualifying.
Agree. Keep doing it.
Heck yeah.
What is next? Schmo Corner.
You have a good one for us today?
I fucking do. Okay, so yesterday morning, I'm training my clients, and I get some messages in my Facebook Messenger, and I'm like, oh, what's this? Like, they were using the restroom or something, so I look at my phone, and I'm like, this is strange. Someone sent me a bunch of pictures of work boots. So literally, I'm looking at it right now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, just like clip pictures from like Google.
They're construction
boots, work boots. Some of them have heels, some of them don't. And I was like, oh, fuck, one of these Facebook people trying to sell me fucking boots. Nope, I was wrong. So then the message to follow is, have you ever done any posing in work boots and short jeans shorts before? You look great, and I'd really like to see you pull that look off. Please consider. Thank you. Boot, 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 boot.
I support that Smo question, though, because I'd like to see that photo shoot.
Okay. Isn't that a weird way to go about it, though? Like, here, put these shoes on.
Yeah.
As he rubs his nipples. Fuck, what the hell? But that's not even the best one that I got yesterday. So this one, I've never responded to this person. Okay, so December 29th, he just says, damn. This is of last year, December 29th. No response. March 2nd. Of this year. You are beautiful and scary. Mostly beautiful, but also scary.
I say that all the time when, like, I see little high school boys in the gym look at you, and then you can tell they're confused, and it's like, mark me down as scared and horny.
Yeah. So then a couple weeks later, March 16th, he just sends me a heart and a wave hand. No response still. So yesterday, 4:45 a.m., because I'm at the gym. Why the fuck are you messaging me? He says, can you do cool tricks?
Yeah, I'm a fucking magician.
Mind you, there are no responses. Yesterday, I got about 18 to 20 messages in a row from this person, so I'm just going to read them all. So after he asks, can you do cool tricks? He says, do you wish someone would just love you regardless? Next message, someone soft. Next message, flex for me. Next message, please, I'm horny for a flex. Next message, come on. Next message, Baphomet.
He called you
the
Baphomet?
The motherfucker called me Baphomet. You don't know what that is? Look it up.
Google it.
Next message. I have a legitimate excuse for you shitting and pissing yourself without actually enjoying yourself, but that's just me. What the fuck?
What in tarnation?
Next message. But flex for me like China, baby. Kiss face. Your muscles make you above the normal. You were sexy before that. Dude, get the birds to sing. The Amazon, the Nile, No, the 10th wonder of the world. I bet you can body slam me. I could make you a hero. End scene.
I can be your hero, baby.
Okay, so what made this even better is my clients were doing legs yesterday, and I was just like reading this to them, and they're like, wait, this happens to you a lot? I'm like, oh yeah, these fuckers are weird.
Every damn day.
But I can't say that I've had that kind of string of messages just in a row before 5 a.m. before.
This guy realizes he can, like, Google female muscle porn, right?
Right. Save you some time, bro. It's not going to be me, but you can find some of it.
My gosh.
You got anything? Any schmoes?
No, nothing good.
Not
lately.
really?
Nothing good lately.
Okay.
They saw my most recent stage pics, and they were like,
never mind.
Fuck this dude.
They were like,
This dude's 8 weeks out.
You already look like you got butter sauce on you. I'm not into it. Yeah. I don't want to fuck you.
Nope. Maybe after Puerto Rico, I'll get a lot of schmoes.
Maybe they'll just be brown.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh shit.
What's a heps?
Stewie, you look gross. You look like Lou Ferrigno's poop.
I look like a guy who's been hitting the gym.
It has nothing to do with the gym. You're on drugs.
Doesn't matter how you find the pot of gold, B to the Ryan. All that matters is that you beat the leprechauns.
That doesn't make any sense.
Doesn't have to make sense when you look like this. Ugh! I am hotter than phone sex with a blind girl.
You sound hot. What are you wearing?
I don't know.
This show brought to you by Heavy Breathing. That's what 30 pounds in one day will do to you. Okay, listen to questions. What do we got, right, Bob?
We got a question from Matt Marshall, UC Suma.
UC Sumo.
See, if you motherfuckers ask questions, we get to them. He asks one like every week, and we get to them.
Yeah.
So he asked the question, should anybody be able to compete, or should there be like some sort of screening process? What do you think about that?
Okay. So I think, yes, anybody should be able to compete. I don't think that there should be a regulation on it. Maybe I sound like a libertarian here. That's probably because I am. But I think it's a cultural shift. That's the annoying part. So it's kind of like the participation trophies.
Trophy.
Everybody wants a trophy. Everybody wants fucking Instagram followers. We should be able to police ourselves and not fucking get on stage and be embarrassing. And understand that maybe you're not fucking top 10 material. So you're just gonna get, you're gonna be the mop that goes across the floor. So you might as well not fucking get up there until you put your time in to get on stage.
You're going to be the mop like me.
You already had all the water. They just had to squeegee you. It would just all come out. They'd be like, whoa, that looks terrible.
Yep.
It's all right.
Yeah.
It's all right learning experience, dude.
Yep.
You won't be like that in Puerto Rico.
No. Yeah, no, I agree. I think everybody should be able to compete. Doesn't mean you should compete, though.
Right.
Fuck, you want to give it a shot? Give it a shot. Do it once. But maybe it's going to take you getting up there and
Get embarrassed.
standing in backstage and looking at everybody else and realizing, holy fuck, I'm out of my element.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, if you go do some like local show, then okay, maybe you'll do all right. But like
Still,
if you
though.
show up to a Midwest or a like a regional show, or God help me, a national or a pro qualifier.
Yeah, just like we hear people say all the time, especially on advices, just because you're nationally qualified
Right.
doesn't mean you're qualified.
Right. I don't remember who said it, but they were like, if you're thinking about competing, I think it was a Testosterone Nation article that somebody wrote, and it was like why you shouldn't compete. And basically this guy was like, listen, if you're not one of the biggest, best people training in your gym, maybe reconsider.
Yeah.
Because you're there to put on a show. So if you could get up there, but also the bartender down the street could get up there and look the same, perhaps you're not ready.
Right. Bodybuilding competition is to showcase elite physiques, or at least damn good physiques.
Right.
Like, it's not to showcase, hey, I lost 40 pounds, so I'm
Right.
getting up here.
Right.
Like, go find a transformation show then.
And it's hard too because like promoters like making money, so of course they're not gonna be like, no, you can't compete. Like they want you to come. And the people that lost the 40 pounds that get up on stage, guarantee they put more people in the seats.
Oh yeah,
because their friends want to come support them. And then people like us, our families like, hey, can we stream it anywhere? Because like we really don't want to travel to watch.
My mom and dad have never even been to one.
I know. My parents like, yeah, somebody's got to watch your dog though, so like we'll stay at home.
Okay, deal.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, you want to fucking compete, fucking do it. The way I look at it, you're bringing more attention to the sport, bringing more money to the sport. People are learning about it, but
yes. However, when you fucking get last place, shut the fuck up about it. Like, go back to work, get better. It's not for you to bitch about, because bottom line is the people that show up, and it doesn't even matter if you worked hard. Like Ryan this weekend, like he fucked up his peaking process, and you don't get rewarded for that. It doesn't matter how fucking hard you work. He's crying. Don't bitch about it. Like, this sport is not for weak-minded people. It's subjective. You're going to get told no and beaten down much more than you get told yes and win. So you better fucking get ready for that.
You're going to lose a lot more than you win.
Yeah. Yeah. It's crazy.
Like, almost everybody.
Yeah. All right. Next question.
Next question. What is the biggest misconceptions about us?
Ooh, one for Ryan is that he actually is bald.
Yeah. Motherfuckers, I can grow hair. I've just had a widow's peak since I was like 14.
So he wrestled when he was younger, so he would just shave his head because it's easier. Also, though, he doesn't grow hair on his chest or back.
Sometimes I'll get like a stray, really black hair on my chest
and
or my back.
And then I'm like, ooh, I'm going to pluck it.
Yeah, and you can tell it's not supposed to be there, but I'm like, hey, I want to hang on to this little guy.
Maybe I'll sprout some more, maybe.
This must be growth hormone hair.
Right. And then here's me with super high dihydrotestosterone, like, wow, I wish I could not grow hair all over.
On your lip.
Yeah, no shit.
Yep.
Fucking PCOS.
No, I think one of the biggest misconceptions people think about me, one, that I'm a dumbass.
Yeah.
Well, and because I'm kind of just like chill and fucking goofy anyway.
I think part of that is because you'll do pretty much anything for a laugh, so people think you're dumb.
Yeah, I don't know.
But
I'm kind of dumb.
You are a little. But you're educated too.
Tis true.
Yeah, you come from good stock. That's why I married you.
First one in my fam with a college degree.
Yeah, true.
To ever go to college.
Yeah, I think that's for both of us though. But just, I think bodybuilders in general, like even we were talking to your mom and dad when we got home from St. Louis, and your mom kind of like referred to like meatheads as being dumb, and I kind of had to tell her, well, no, like to get as big as we want to be, people much bigger than us, and get in this kind of condition, like it actually takes a lot of smarts to do that. Not just anybody can do this shit.
It is really weird. I've noticed a lot of the like women's physique competitors and actual bodybuilders, you learn about their profession, and they're like fucking doctors and lawyers or entrepreneurs that run their own business.
Right.
And then you talk to your men's physique competitor and he's like, I work at GNC.
I'm just here for the pussy, bro.
Yeah. Yeah. I got here today at this competition. As soon as I got here, I activated my Tinder.
Yeah. Fucking lighten up with bitches.
Yep.
I know. I tell people I used to teach English, and they're like, "Oh, like elementary." I'm like, "No, high school fucking literature." And they assume like there's no way you have an English degree. And I'm like, yeah, I've read lots of books. It's crazy.
Those things you open with words.
Yeah. One of my favorite things is when people guess what we do for occupations. And this was like maybe before we were so big. But people always would guess that I'm a bartender, and they always guess that Ryan's a construction worker.
Or a cop.
Or a cop, or military. You get that a lot.
I still get that a lot.
I don't know what people think I do.
They think you're a ma'am. It is ma'am.
Ma'am? Are you saying ma'am?
There's two M's.
Yeah, that I'm a tranny.
Yes.
Great.
Yeah. I think you're a professional crossdresser.
I'm super fucking good at it.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I have fake lashes.
Yep.
Any other misconceptions?
people just think.
Oh, that we're on all kinds of gear.
Yeah. I mean, on more than the average Joe, but actually, no.
No, not really.
No. There's motherfucking fat asses in the gym that take 8 times the shit I do.
I was feeling surly a couple of weeks ago, and somebody was like, I don't know them. And they were like,
You hear that word? How dumb was that?
That's right.
Surly.
They were like, how many steroids do you take? And I said, sometimes I need to like take a second and reflect before I respond to people. And I said, less than your mom.
Yep.
And then I don't think that person will ever talk to me again. But, Sarah.
Well, I take like the same amount as my dad. And we look quite a bit different.
It's true. Give him some time, though. Okay?
I mean, he doesn't take Masteron, but
No.
he takes the HRT dose of test.
It is crazy. Ryan and I both sent our dads to get their blood work done because they're both, I mean, what's your dad, 56?
57.
57. Mine's about 55. And we sent them to get their blood work done. And they were fucked up, man. Like, they had pretty low testosterone levels. Guts were all fucked up. Like, everything was just out of whack. And now they both feel so much better.
Yeah. I mean, my dad doesn't even weight train or anything, but he owns a landscaping company, so he's got a physically active job. Mm-hmm. But he's like, yeah, I feel a lot better, and I can fucking tell, man. He's feisty. I'm like, dude, we need to bring your fucking test levels back down, dude. You're getting on my fucking nerves. Jesus.
Still trying to get Ryan's mom on board, but my mom's all about her health now too. So we're working on it. Care about your parents, guys. PSA.
Yeah. Send them to get on HRT.
What's any other listener questions we have today?
Another question is discuss the value of progressive overload training, and then if we have any personal experience with mountain dog or fortitude training or anything like that. Yeah.
Well, I think too many times people get started and their focus is strictly on their physique, when really you have to get strong first. The first thing you have to do is get real fucking strong. Because if you want to look a certain way and maintain that look, you have to condition your body to maintain it. So you have to be able to lift heavy weight. And that's what keeps people like us in business. Like, that's why we have clients that we train, because people would come in, they'd pick a pretty easy fucking weight, do it for 3 sets of 10.
3 sets of 10. Oh.
Yeah, move the fuck on. And then, when we start to introduce these concepts, progressive overload, which seems like second nature to most of us, now they're like, holy fuck, I'm getting better.
So let's explain for those that don't know what progressive overload is. So progressive overload is exactly what it sounds like, So say I'm doing a flat bench press, and this week I do 315 for 6 reps. So next week, if I'm going to progressive overload, I need to do 315 for either 7 reps or more, or I need to be able to hit, say, like 320 for 6 reps. Mm-hmm. So whatever you did this week, you need to be able to do more reps with that same weight, or increase your weight and at least match the same amount of reps you did the previous week.
Yeah. It's a good principle. I think where some people get thrown off is that they're very addicted to their logbook.
Yeah.
And you have to realize too that sometimes your body's not going to work with you. Sometimes you don't get enough fucking sleep. Sometimes you're off somehow, emotionally off. That affects your physical body. Maybe you aren't eating as much, who knows? But you're not always going to be performing to what your logbook expectation is. So you have to be patient with yourself, but also realize that mentally you can push through a fuck ton.
Yep.
So you can hit better numbers that you're anticipating.
Yeah, you're not going to beat your logbook numbers every fucking week. For a while you might, but eventually you're going to plateau.
Yeah, it's just like weight loss.
And yeah, you can't compromise. Well, shit, I hear Dr. Scott Stevenson talk about this all the time. I'm pretty sure he's given actual speeches on it, but you can't compromise your
form,
your rep execution and your form to try and just beat your logbook numbers.
Right.
You have to have the exact same rep tempo, the exact same form, and actually legitimately beat your numbers from the previous week.
We were talking about this a couple days ago with clients, where especially when you do like a drop set or some kind of failure set where form just goes out the fucking window.
Yeah, like why are you bouncing that bench off your fucking chest?
They think that the end goal is the amount of reps, but really it's the amount of reps with perfect execution. So just
And
because,
are you feeling it in the targeted muscle group or not?
right, like, are you focusing or are you just trying to burn calories? Because if you're just burning calories, go the fuck on the treadmill while you're paying me. Yeah, there's so much more to it. So yeah, and fortitude training. Ryan has some experience with it.
Yeah, but real quick on progressive overload, like Hailey said, I think it's a great concept, and I try to practice progressive overload every training session for the most part, because I think if you truly are getting stronger every week, your body has to adapt to that. You're going to have to gain more muscle tissue from that. But you still want to throw in your pump sets, like lactic acid type training. You know, like say on my my compound lifts, I'll do a lot of my progressive overload type stuff, my heavier sets. But then if I'm doing tricep pull downs, or put your fucking gut back in your shirt. Hailey's sitting here playing with her fucking happy trail.
Scratch.
Sitting here fingering her belly button.
Idiot.
Hey boy, get down in that rim and wash that rim out.
Focus, motherfucker.
Anyway, you still got to do your pump sets.
Don't look at me. Worry about yourself.
Quit interrupting me.
Okay, fortitude training. Go.
I do have experience with fortitude training. I stuck to like the same training plan that VJ made for me for like probably 2 or 3 years, and then at one point he's like, "Hey, let's switch it up and go to fortitude training." I did that for, I don't know, maybe 60 days, and I started out with the highest level fortitude one. I can't think of what it's called, like turbo something. But anyway, I like fortitude training. There's a high frequency. You implement some sort of muscle round almost every day. So like a cluster set of 6 sets of 4 reps. So like I like to do my muscle rounds, say on back day, with like a heavy bent over barbell row, where you choose a weight where if you were fresh, you could do about 15 reps with perfect form. And so say I'm going to do like 275 on bent over row. I'm going to do four good reps, take a break, 4 good reps, take a break. Like the first 3 or 4 sets might be fairly easy, but then that 5th and 6th one, you should barely be able to fucking finish that in that muscle round cluster set. It is brutal. And you're doing a lot of heavy working sets, but you're always getting your pump sets in there too. I really liked fortitude training.
Yeah. So you mentioned that you did the same plan that VJ made for you for a long time, like years, right?
Long time. I stuck to it almost perfectly. I might have thrown in like a couple different isolation movements here and there, but the bread and butter was always the same.
Right. And then you did fortitude because you weren't really seeing, you know, your body was just too adaptive.
Yeah, I was just kind of plateaued for a while.
That's something that I get questioned a lot is, you know, when does my training plan switch? Well, I've literally never changed my training plan. And within the past couple of years, I've grown a fuck ton. So a lot of it's your execution and the progressive overload concept. And that, you know, obviously you need to choose the right exercises to do for your body. But if you're bored, that's not a reason to change your training plan. No. Like if you'll adhere to it better, yeah, go ahead. But don't expect to, you know, change your body like elite bodybuilders do. I've had the same split, basically a bro split, for 5 years.
Yeah,
and I haven't deviated from it. I do a little bit different compounds now, just because I found that it works to target things like my quad sweep and my shoulders better. And I've found that out through trial and error. But I've stuck to the same 2 rest days a week for 5 fucking years, and it's given me the rewards that I want. So just, that's what you have to do. It's consistency over a long period of time with proper intensity, and that's what gives you the muscle.
Yeah, your training plan has to be something that you enjoy doing and that you like, you know, but once you find something that you enjoy doing and it's working for you, fucking stick to that until it doesn't work for you for like a while, you know?
It's the same thing. Like, this goes back to so many things in bodybuilding, like coach hopping.
My God.
Like I can't. This was so fucking crazy to me. But my body has an infection. Okay, it freaks out. I can't tell you. There's probably a handful of people that were like, "Well, are you gonna stick with VJ?" And I was like, "What? Like, why would you even say that?" Like, yes, of course I'm sticking with VJ.
This has to do with something I ate.
Right. I'm like, no. Like, what are you even talking about? And I'm like, also, that dude's never done me wrong ever.
Yeah, he injected me with E. coli.
Yeah, fucking what the fuck, Indian. Or, you know, people, I'll get like...
Taxi?
Yeah. I'll get people that are like, well, I'm interviewing coaches right now. Could you tell me what you can offer me? And I'm like, well, how come it didn't work out with your previous coaches?
No response.
Right. And they're like, well, my 7 coaches before you just didn't tell me what I wanted to hear. You know, consistency. Like, everyone's human, too. I don't know.
It pretty much comes down to everybody wants a new training plan because they're bored. That's what it is, 90% of the time.
Right, and that's not what fucking progressive overload is.
No. Mm-mm. And Mountain Dog, I've never actually followed like a Mountain Dog plan per se, but I've noticed that my own style of training is Mountain Dog training for the most part.
And VJ uses a lot of those concepts.
I like to do a lot of I do a pre-fatigue set, and then I like to do the heavy compound set, followed by like a pump set, maybe like a, what would you call it? Like a forced stretch, a loaded stretch.
I'm very similar to John Meadows in Mountain Dog training, as in I love donuts.
Yeah.
And I would dress up and beat the shit out of people.
You love gritty vascularity.
I do. Love it.
Yeah. And you both have blonde hair.
We do. Yep.
His is kind of getting to be more white.
Yeah.
But
both have. Is mine receding quite as much as his?
Now you're just being mean.
Looks
you're getting to be mean.
As Ryan looks me up and down, wants to say yes, but doesn't. Okay. Any more listener questions today, or should we wrap this shindig up? Take a look, see. You know, and sometimes we make posts about wanting questions, but if you guys ever have one, go ahead and hit us up on Instagram, _come_up_podcast, or you can message one of us. Please don't include pictures of work boots when you message me.
Yeah.
So to wrap up this episode, let's talk about what we have coming up in the future. Show-wise, Puerto Rico.
Puerto Rico.
Ryan will...
Sorry, that's Mexican.
Ryan will not ever again be doing classic physique.
No.
Or should I never say never?
Never say never, but highly unlikely to do classic physique.
So in
again.
Puerto Rico, which is what, like 4 weeks out?
4.5 weeks from
4.5 weeks. So I have to get a little bit less fat in the next 4.5 weeks so that I look decent on the beach.
Monday we have that IFBB pool party thing, like post-show pool party. So
I'll just wear a big hat and pretend like I'm no one.
You are no one.
I'll be like, thanks. Wow. Clearly.
Neither am I. We are just some ants in this abyss of hell.
Okay. Yeah. Really though, big floppy hat just keeps taking vodkas from the vodka table.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
it's sponsored by Muscle Vodka.
That's why I said vodka.
Yeah,
what? Wow,
fuck,
put it together,
Daddy.
So Ryan will be doing bodybuilding at that show, and interesting. We signed him up for it a couple days ago. Tim Gardner is running this show, so it'll be a fucking awesome show. And the bodybuilding weights were interesting. So it's 198 and above for heavyweight, and there's no super.
Yep. I'm okay with that because, I mean, I'm assuming I'll come in low 220s, but let's say like if I was 227 or 226, I wouldn't have to worry about sucking down the last 2 pounds, you know, right. So I can just naturally come in, whatever the fuck I weigh is what I weigh, and I know I'm a heavyweight, which is going to be awesome.
Right.
So I expect to look a lot better in Puerto Rico.
Yeah. We have also... decided that Ryan's not going to compete at Junior Nationals. He didn't qualify at the St. Louis anyways, but Classic Physique's out. So after Puerto Rico, he's going to just get Project Big as fuck.
Yep. And it's kind of nice though too that I'm shutting it down after Puerto Rico. Anyway, that's what I think right now, and I think that's a smart move. Mm-hmm. But we're staying a week after the competition in Puerto Rico.
Fuck yeah.
And before, when I was going to be doing Junior Nationals, that was only a 2-week span. So, like, I would have had a week in Puerto Rico where I would have to keep it in check and enjoy myself, but not be able to eat.
Which is actually really hard for him.
Hell yeah. Oh, my gosh. And then I'm such a fat fuck. Yep. But then I would have to keep it in check for Junior Nats. And now it's like, hey.
Fat Carl.
Yeah, Fat Carl. But
so vacation.
Cool. Woo. Vacation, then get big as fuck.
Yeah.
I'm gonna up the test, up the trend, the DECA, the growth, the IGF.
Wow.
I think I'm gonna do some. I'm gonna snort some rat poisons. I heard that's good for your microbiome.
Yeah. Yep. Super good. Yeah, and then who knows what's happening for me. If I can get my health going in the right direction, which I am, we'll see how my body's responding. Maybe prep, maybe not. Who knows?
You know what? Interesting fact that I learned today from our blood panel.
Yeah.
My creatinine is over 2,000.
Yeah.
Normal range is 1,200 and below.
Dr. Sean was like, "Whoa, you might have rhabdo."
He said well, my liver enzymes and whatever else.
Yeah, those were in range.
They're very well in range. And he said if these were out of range, we would be, I'd be very concerned because you would have rhabdo. Mm-hmm. But he said you're heavy, you have a lot of muscle mass, and you must train hard. So I'm like, what? I'm over 2,000. He just started laughing and he's like, yeah.
He's like, oh, and there's some blood in your pee.
Yeah, but he goes, that's from training hard.
You're like, oh, that's all? Okay, cool.
Anyway, I don't know what made me think of that. Just getting big as fuck or something.
Maybe.
Yeah. Anyway.
So that's pretty much all we have coming up.
So who do we got coming up on our future episodes soon?
Brett Wilkin.
Tentatively, we are going.
212 Phenom.
Yep. Before Puerto Rico, we want to have Brett Wilkin on, where he'll be making his pro debut. 212. Dude's a freak. We want to have Lynette Moles and
Baby Rhino
Nick Langer, who the coach and competitor duo from St. Louis.
He owns Iron Heaven Gym
in Omaha, Nebraska. So we'll have them on to talk about their experiences at the St. Louis Pro and everything they have going on. And I still want to try to reach out to my girl, the classical queen again, Alyssa Kiesling, see if we can get her on here in the near future too.
Yep. Making her debut in Toronto. So
is that the plan?
That's the plan.
Okay.
That is the plan.
Yeah, so we got some good guests coming up.
We do. Anybody else that you want us to have on, go ahead. Leave us a comment.
You know who else we're going to have on in the near future?
Who?
We haven't talked to her about it yet, but you guys are like kind of becoming friends, and it's going to happen.
Oh, Brooke?
No, well, Brooke would be cool.
Yeah, we're getting Brooke on.
Female bodybuilder. Your favorite. Yeah.
Isabel Terrell.
Yeah. Isabel's the shit.
Yeah, she's goals. Also one of the nicest people I've ever met. And female bodybuilder. Female power, what's up?
Mm-hmm. I bet she'd do posing in some work boots.
Duh. Yep. Duh. All right, well, for Hailey and Ryan and our fucking amazing golden doodle Lucille. And another episode of The Come Up. We'll see you next time.